It's quite surprising. After China ordered 160 Airbus aircraft, the United States has actually ordered 20 C919 aircraft from China. What's going on here? After all, in the high-end industry, the United States has been doing its best to suppress China. So, why did the US suddenly buy 20 C919 planes made in China? What could be the reason behind it? Okay, that and more is exactly what we are going to talk about. Let's get started. The American company that ordered the C919 is General Electric, which purchased the first 20 planes. There is no doubt that this is the first order for the C919 in the US aviation market. The United States has the largest number of airports in the world and is also the country with the highest global demand for aviation. General Electric's purchase of the C919 can bring strong advertising effects for the C919, implying that if the US is buying it, why can't other countries? After all, the US is the hometown of Boeing. The fact that the C919 has entered the US market proves that it must have its unique competitive advantage. Aviation is a large market with higher value than the automotive industry. At the same time, it also has extremely strong industrial access barriers. The two major airworthiness certificates for international aviation are held by Europe and the United States. One is the Airworthiness Certificate of the European Aviation Safety Agency, and the other is the Airworthiness Certificate of the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration. Without these two airworthiness certificates, the C919 cannot fly out of China's borders. But now that General Electric has bought it, it means that the U.S. Airworthiness Certificate is also available. From the beginning of its development, the C919 was positioned for the global market. It adopts a mature global industrial chain, global aviation technology standards, and is deeply bound to top European and American suppliers to form a common interest body, in order to take the lead in opening up the international market. One important reason why General Electric could become the first company to purchase the C919 in the United States is that General Electric is one of the core suppliers of the C919. Safran Group, which provides engines for the C919, is a French-American joint venture, in which General Electric holds a 50% stake. In addition to the engine, the C919's flight data recording system also comes from General Electric. As a partner, General Electric naturally hopes to help the C919 fly higher and farther. The more C919s are sold, the more General Electric will earn. Another reason is that the C919 is cheaper and more cost-effective than aircraft of the same level from Airbus and Boeing. Aviation is a finely tuned service market with high investment and long cycles, and is highly sensitive to costs. The Boeing 737 costs $106 million, the Airbus A320 costs $110 million, and the C919's list price is $99 million. In actual transactions, the price can still be discounted by 20% or 30%. With an absolute price advantage, the C919 does not lack potential customers. CEO of the Australian Aviation Intelligence and Research Centre, Mr. Webster, has stated that many aircraft leasing companies have purchased the C919 passenger plane. This means that the market for the C919 is not limited to China alone. Webster believes that as long as the C919 is cost-effective and can meet the configuration requirements of different customers, it will generate interest from other countries. Other airlines may observe the operation of the C919 for a few years before deciding whether or not to try it. For China, the development of the C919 is of great significance. After obtaining international airworthiness certification, China will be able to break the monopoly of Airbus and Boeing on the civil aviation market, become an important participant in the global aviation industry, and win a greater share in the world aviation market. Firstly, the development of the C919 is conducive to meeting China's domestic demand for large passenger planes. In recent years, the Chinese civil aviation market has shown rapid growth. In order to strengthen existing routes, open up new ones, and replace old aircraft, China will need a large number of passenger planes in the next few decades. For example, in order to meet China's demand for large passenger planes, during Macron's visit to China, Airbus announced the establishment of a second passenger aircraft assembly line in Tianjin, doubling Airbus's production capacity in China. However, even so, the aircraft orders that China has placed with Airbus still need a considerable amount of time to be delivered. Therefore, producing the C919 domestically will help ease the pressure of aircraft shortages in the domestic aviation market. Compared with the same type of aircraft produced by Boeing and Airbus, the C919 can better meet China's civil aviation needs. Due to its late mover advantage, the C919 can excel in electronic systems, passenger comfort, and other aspects compared to other same-type aircraft. Moreover, as the production volume of the C919 increases, its production cost will also decrease. This can not only enhance the profit margins of China's civil aviation manufacturing enterprises but also reduce the operating costs of airlines and the travel costs of residents. Secondly, the C919 can help promote China's industrial development and accelerate its technological innovation. The development of the C919 involves multiple high-tech fields, including but not limited to composite materials, advanced manufacturing technology, and electronic aviation equipment. The C919 is a top product in China's civil aviation industry, which has driven China's exploration and innovation in core technologies such as artificial intelligence and 5G, and established an advanced production system. Previously, most of China's civil aviation enterprises were working for Boeing and Airbus, producing aircraft parts according to their requirements. Due to this factor, China's civil aviation industry, although numerous in quantity, has not been able to connect the upstream and downstream of the industrial chain. Thirdly, the C919 can enhance China's international influence and greatly improve China's say in the global aviation field. It is one of the symbols of Made in China entering high-end manufacturing, reflecting China's continuous strides towards high-end manufacturing. In addition, the C919 follows a military-civilian cooperation route of first importing the complete product, then gradually transitioning to domestic production from semi-domestic production. The Chinese J-20 stealth fighter initially used the Russian-made AL-31F engine and later switched to the domestically produced WS-10B Vector engine, with plans to upgrade to the WS-15 Vector engine in the future. The first VT-1 main battle tank produced by China used a Ukrainian engine, while the advanced domestic engine was only introduced in the development of the VT-4 and VT-5 main battle tanks. The route of first importing and then domestically producing replacements has proven to be feasible. The C919 occupies a similar position in the Chinese civil aviation industry as the early version of the J-20 and the VT-1 main battle tank, which are products of Sino-foreign technological cooperation. Its production capacity is limited by foreign technology, but through mass production of the C919, China can cultivate a large number of outstanding aerospace engineers and industrial workers, who are the foundation for the localization of China's large passenger aircraft. The C919 is solving the process of going from 0 to 1. In the future, the domestically produced version of the C919 will solve the problem of going from 1 to 100. The spare tire strategy is a localization strategy. Therefore, many people are unaware that behind the C919, there are many Sino-US joint venture supply chain companies, mainly joint ventures between the Aviation Industry Corporation of China and top European and American aerospace suppliers. The purpose of the joint venture is to attract top European and American aerospace supply chain companies to settle in China and achieve local manufacturing, such as the joint venture between Airbus and Honeywell to establish a factory in Xi'an to produce flight control systems, and the joint venture between Airbus and General Electric to produce avionics systems, etc. In terms of shareholding, both parties adopt a principle of fairness and equality, each holding 50% of the shares. Behind the C919 is a huge Sino-foreign joint venture aerospace industry chain cluster, forming a Sino-European and American interest community. Originally, there was the Sino-Russian joint development of the C929 wide-body passenger aircraft, which could be used to balance Europe and the United States. However, Russia refused to share technology and abandoned the project midway, and now wants to restart it, wasting several years of time for no reason. Therefore, the best industrial pattern for China's aviation industry is to bring in Europe, America, and Russia, and let them balance each other, promote the localization of China's aviation manufacturing, cultivate talent, and then use the talent to promote breakthroughs in domestic technology and form a virtuous cycle. In other words, the C919 is only the first step in China's civil aviation industry. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, just leave them in the comments section. We'll come back as soon as possible and check them, and then we'll give feedback. See you next time.